I started to learn about traumatic brain injury accidentally in 2020, but it's been good to learn about, and I hope that I can help you know more about what it is. I used to love cycling. I got into it years ago, going on lots of rides, alone or with friends, and I didn't worry much about bike accidents before I had one. With my bike accident in 2020, my family and I learned more about what a TBI is and how to live with it. I've since learned that it is a common injury and a very complicated experience that impacts the world in a large part. It doesn't make it into the news very much, and it is not described in detail when it does. You might think of it like headaches, but it is a much more complex issue, and it's not obvious that it impacts so many people. There are some common causes of TBI, but they may only cover a small amount of all of them. For me, it was a cycling accident that caused it, but for most people, it comes from many things. Car accidents, falling on ice, falling down stairs. There's no limit. There have also been many people that have got them through military service or many athletic sports. It comes from all sorts of experience, and it is surprisingly common. So what is it? It's typically caused by an accident where your brain is injured. The brain is not a small or simple organ. It's a complicated system. Since I worked in technology for years, I think of it that way. It's like a data center filled with computers that keep the human version of the internet working. In a data center, all the computers do so many different things, and they need to be patched and connected to each other to work. But despite the complexity of doing it with lots of computers, it largely works for every person inside their own head naturally. However, when you have a physical accident that takes out part of your brain, it's tough. But there are so many different parts of your brain that can be impacted with a TBI. The impact can cause so many issues and can fully disturb you. And some will be things that you will be messed up for maybe the rest of your life. Here are some common impacts that I have heard of or have experienced. Loss of vision, loss of balance, numbness to parts of your body, occasional or frequent epileptic seizures, not being aware of what day of the week it is, loss of memory, like your own memories from years ago, or not being able to create and retrieve new memories today, speech and language problems, loss of all the words that you used to know well, but now you don't, pronunciation being off, knowing what words you should use and what words you should not use with other people, information processing, following a conversation with 3 or more people that changes topics quickly, depression, confusion, organization, and changes to your personality. Everyone with a TBI gets some of these impacts. Some come, some go. TBI is complex. The impacts can be hard to tell, and it's different for every person. In some ways, it is an invisible injury. It's hard to see. People might see some things that have happened to you with a TBI, but other things won't be noticed at all. If you didn't know the person before the TBI, then you might not see the changes to the person. Maybe they used to be quiet, but now they talk a lot, or the reverse. The changes to personality can be small, or they can be large, Sometimes it's hard for an outside observer to know. It's also hard for the TBI patient to know. Memory of your own pre-injury self could be missing. How do we get through it and put our lives back together? I like to think of it as moving backwards in time, taking yourself back to maybe being 10 years old when you were still learning everything and figuring out what to do next. There's a lot to learn again, and it takes a lot of effort. How do you do this in this modern world? That's a tough problem to solve. Having a TBI can take you away from what you may have developed into a strong career. Or maybe you're young and haven't fully established yourself yet. It's different for everyone, and it can be really tough if you're all alone. TBI can impact people in many situations in life. Some might have moved to a new city recently and not have family close by. Getting through TBI by yourself is an unbelievable challenge. To me, I was lucky to have friends and family that have helped me get my way through it. For me, I've been working for 5 years to rebuild who I am. I've gotten a lot of help from mental health therapist, as well as a speech therapist, and some great online applications. Meditation has been a fantastic practice to help me mentally rebuild, and yoga has been good for restoring my balance. And thankfully for me, using a fixed bicycle trainer in my basement has been good and fun for me since I've been a cyclist for years. Everyone with TBI has challenges to find what works for them. So Love Your Brain is a fantastic organization that has been established to help people going through this part of their life. Their online group meetings have been really helpful in establishing my mindset. I was really lucky to have a lot of assistance after my accident, but it hasn't been easy at all. I can't imagine how hard it is for people with less community than I have to progress and recover. One of the key things that Love Your Brain has helped me understand is that being resilient is a positive part of recovery from a TBI. How would I come back was unknown to almost everyone that knew me. It was a mystery. Thankfully, I got help from so many places that helped bring me back. In many ways, I'm a different person now than I was then, perhaps in a better way. Now I spend more parts of my days trying to find things that I can do to help others. I help both myself and others as much as I can. I thank you for helping Love Your Brain by giving a generous donation on my behalf for the 2025 Ride for Resilience in New York City. It means a lot to me to ride my bike in the city again this year, and joining with the Love Your Brain group helps me build my community. I ask you to help the TBI community out as much as you can. We're in an unusual part of the healthcare system, and we need your help. We will be able to continue to recover, and we'll come back as quickly as we can. The TBI community is surprisingly larger than you might know. I am grateful of having as much help as I can from Love Your Brain, and I'm thankful for your donations to them.